Welcome back to my channel. We've got some great information to go over today. Can you buy a house after bankruptcy? But first, you know me, if you haven't already done so, pause this video, go grab a drink, and let's talk about this. Real quick, if you've never been to this channel, I'm Rodney Dixon, your Tulsa, Oklahoma real estate agent. I've been making real estate as smooth as possible for the past 26 years, and I'm happy to do the same for you and anyone you know. If you like these kind of videos, make sure you click that subscribe button, hit that bell notification button. That way you don't miss any other videos I do. And if you get value out of this video, please share it. It helps me out, it helps this channel out, and I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. And real quick, before we get started, I did this on my last video. Let's do it here. Do you guys drink coffee? Okay. Do you drink it black or do you spice it up a bit? I like to drink it black, but then there's those times that I like to add some spice. I wanted to tell you this creamer I found. It's called Peppermint Bark. I throw a little cinnamon with it. It's basically Christmas in a cup. And because this is November, it just falls in the season. Anyway, if you like to spice your coffee up, try it. Are you a straight black coffee drinker or do you prefer to spice your coffee up? I'd love to read those. Okay, are you ready? Let's get into it. First, let's understand what bankruptcy is. Bankruptcy is a legal process that helps people with unmanageable debts get their life back on track. While bankruptcy can provide immediate relief from debt, it can also significantly impact your credit and your credit score. But you know what? You can rebuild that back, and over time, you'll be good. The key takeaways on this video are, yes, you can buy a house after bankruptcy. You just have to wait for a period of time, and we're going to dig more into that in this video. Also, you need to know how to rebuild your credit so you're ready when that time frame allows you to get qualified to buy. And we're going to talk about that here as well. I'm going to give you some ideas, and this will be off of bankrate.com. Also, we're going to talk about what kind of loan you can get after bankruptcy. No, you are not tagged with higher interest rate. No, you are not tagged with a much larger down payment. Isn't that good to know? So with all of that information, listen, life happens. Life gets in the way sometimes, and sometimes we have no control over it. So don't beat yourself up over this. The best thing you can do at this point forward is just keep your chin up, move forward. Let's get past the bankruptcy and let's reestablish new credit. So when the seasoned amount of time goes by, you're in the best position to get a loan for your house. So the type of loan that you would be able to get after bankruptcy the fastest is going to be an FHA loan after you wait the 2 years. So you have to wait the 2 years. And some people ask, when does that time frame start? Does it start when I file? When the bankruptcy is discharged, that's when that time frame starts. Saying you have to wait 2 years. But after 2 years, you're ready to buy a house potentially. What you need to do though is you need to reestablish. I'm going to give you some tips. Now again, this is based on bankrate.com. Tips on how to rebuild your credit after bankruptcy. Bankruptcy stays on your credit report for 7 to 10 years, but that doesn't mean you need to wait that long to rebuild your credit. So yeah, it's going to be on there, but that's okay because you're still going to be able to buy a house. You're still going to be able to buy a car. You're still going to be able to get certain loans. After bankruptcy, there's probably just going to be a waiting period, especially with the house. So again, you've got that 2-year waiting period, and that's going to be an FHA loan that you could potentially qualify up to $498,000. If you're buying in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which is where I'm located, you can buy a nice house for $498,000. I mean, really nice, because the average house price here is around $300,000. All right, so here we go. Number one, here's some pointers. Number one, keep up with payments on existing loans. So if you filed Chapter 7 and it was a clean slate and you don't have any loans out there now, well, you can start over, fresh. There's things that you can do, and I'm going to cover it here. So there's several apps out there that you can download. Credit Karma is one that I personally use, and I absolutely love it. It kind of keeps my finger on the pulse of my credit. So if someone were to try and do something, I would see it pretty quickly, and I check it every month. But if you're rebuilding your credit, you might want to check that more often. Another thing too, Some of that stuff that was discharged in your bankruptcy, well, that needs to show that there's no continued collection happening with that. All right, apply for a credit card. Adding a new credit card, and I'm just going to read how they say it here. Adding a new credit card responsibly can boost your credit score. Making on-time payments can establish a good payment history. Just because you've made a few payments on time in the past 6 months, it's not going to put you in a great position to be able to get a loan for a house when that time comes. What you need to do is you don't want any late payments for at least a year, preferably 2 years. Make sure you're making all of your payments on time. So if you do get secured credit cards or some form of loan or co-sign to have a loan, you want to make sure that you are making all of your payments on time, because lenders are going to highly look at that. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to buy a house when that time comes. So you just need to keep that in mind. All right, apply for a credit builder loan. Now here's what it says here. Credit builder loan is a product designed to help people reestablish credit after going through a significant event like bankruptcy. It lets you borrow a small amount of money and build credit as you make on-time payments. Unlike a typical loan, you don't have the funds up front. Instead, the lender keeps the funds in a restricted account, such as a CD, while you make payments. Once you pay off the loan, you get the funds minus any applicable fees. So maybe go talk with your bank. Now, I'm not super familiar with this, but you can go talk to your bank and find out if they have like a CD that you can get, and that's with your own money card based on a CD, buying your groceries and your fuel. Well, you can pay yourself back on that, but it counts as credit. Thing is though, is you have to make those payments on time, just like anything else, because again, what we're trying to do here is reestablish credit. And listen, if there are any of you that are watching this and you guys are bankers or lenders and you've got a lot of knowledge in this area, mention it in the comments. What is going to help some of the people that are watching this video? Please mention it in the comments so that they have a clear understanding of kind of what that looks like. But for people that are subscribed to my channel, for people that are visiting my channel, I want to provide this to you because 26 years of doing real estate, I can't tell you how many times, and it's not been a ton, but it's been a handful of times that people don't know. They feel so defeated when they have to file for bankruptcy, and they don't even know what buying a house looks like and how fast they can buy it because they're so deflated at that point. But again, I'm just here to encourage you. Don't be deflated with that. I mean, don't stay there. I get it. You're going to be deflated. Don't stay there. There's hope. You can rebuild. You're going to be good. You just have to follow these principles. Okay, apply for a loan with a co-signer. That's another thing you might have the option to do. If not, that's okay. Here's what I highly recommend. If you haven't gone through bankruptcy yet, and that's the only way, right? That's okay. If that's the only way, it's the only way. And we're mostly talking Chapter 7 here, not Chapter 13. Chapter 13, while you're going through that process, Chapter 13 is considered more of the restructuring type of bankruptcy. It's to restructure your loans, to give you some breathing room to try and get those taken care of and back on track. Chapter 7 is just clean slate, is kind of what they call that. Sometimes you may not get a full clean slate, but it wipes out a lot of that debt so you can have a fresh start. But what I would recommend is you definitely want to get with a loan officer, somebody that's got experience in this area. And I know some of the best loan officers that can counsel with you to get you the experience that you need, because there's certain type of loans that you're going to want to try and secure. A CD from the bank would be one, a secured credit card would be one. If you're renting, you can use that as well. Get something from your apartment complex when that time comes, 2 years later, when you're applying for that FHA loan. But I always recommend to get with a qualified lender. Now I say qualified, well, aren't they all licensed? Yes, they should be. But I've had great lenders and I've had lenders that just weren't so great. So with that being said, I've got some great lenders. Reach out to me. I'm happy to pass on the information on some of the great lenders that I've got that I use all the time, and they can counsel with you and tell you exactly what you need to consider doing if you find yourself in this situation. Okay, hire a credit repair professional. After bankruptcy, you don't need to navigate your credit repair journey alone. Okay, let's be honest. If you're not into the credit repair business. It's so difficult to know how to navigate that. Some people never have access to what their credit looks like. And some people just once a year, they get the 3 credit reports, they'll send it to them for free. But it's so important that you keep a closer eye on your credit in case something happens. So a credit monitoring company, Credit Karma is a great one as well. But there's some others out there. Find the one that you feel most comfortable with and use them, and keep an eye on your credit, especially since you're rebuilding it. Because a lot of times we don't have a clue how to rebuild our credit, right? Because did you know that if you tap out some of your credit cards, well, that looks bad. If you've got over 30% usage on your credit card, well, that looks bad. That can start tagging your credit. If you've got your credit cards maxed out, well, that's going to cause 150, 160 point drop potentially in your credit score. So there's things that a lot of people don't know. I don't know. I pay my stuff on time. I don't know why my credit's not much better than what it is. Well, if you have some maxed out credit cards, that will totally be the reason right there. There's credit simulators out there. I know Capital One credit cards has a credit simulator built in where if you put so much down, it will reevaluate and it'll show you what your credit score could go up to. So good information to know there as well. But hire a credit professional. After bankruptcy, you don't need to navigate your credit repair journey alone. Credit repair professionals, including credit repair specialists, credit counselors, specialized attorneys, or financial advisors can offer personalized strategies to improve your credit worthiness. Checking your credit report for inaccuracies, disputing errors on your behalf. This is some of the things they can do. Offering budgeting advice, providing guidance on rebuilding your credit, and recommending credit rebuilding products. I hope this helps you guys. If you got value out of it, mention it down in the comments below. Make sure you share it. Make sure you like. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. Again, I'm building this channel. Another thing too, mention it in the comments below if you've been through anything like this that you feel can really shed some light with our audience. I would really appreciate that. All right, anyway, if I can help you, reach out to me. Go to contactrodney.com, go in the description, call me, text me, whatever you'd like to do. Let's work together. All right, we'll talk soon.